Hi, I'm Kunal Chatlani and I've done my bachelor's from Mumbai, India. And I'll walk you through my project now. So the project is called Plug and Play. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. That's rightfully said by Helen Keller. And this project seeks to explore the extent of diversity and shared spaces, which can act as a catalyst in achieving affordability in housing. So plug and play is about creating a system wherein there is a single prefabricated panel which has the potential of creating diverse spaces which are more resilient and functional, and how diversity through modularity can achieve affordability. So the basic question that I intend to ask through my research is, can we make homes more affordable through communal spaces and through modular construction? Currently, 75% of Los Angelenos can't afford a home in 2020. And affordability is an issue where a person's 30% of their annual income should suffice their housing needs. And there's a very striking fact that 66% of people have never met their neighbors. So I started off with this idea of diversity and affordability, which leads to diverse spaces through modular construction, and these diverse interactions through communal spaces, and these both lead to the affordability of the space. So to understand what spaces can be shared and what spaces can be categorized as communal spaces, I started by dissecting the daily routine of different individuals and how they spend their whole day, and how different people use different spaces at different times, and how these diverse group of people can actually overlap and share spaces. To the left corner, you can see that this is a typical residential layout connected by unusable passages, waste passages. Uh, and if we do a 50% shared layout, the affordability goes up and diverse interactions between people go up, and space efficiency goes up as the unusable space by the passage is reduced. And if we do 100% layout, the affordability still goes up because now it becomes one single apartment in itself, and people are interacting more with each other, and the space efficiency increases a lot more because the circulation space is taken over by functional spaces. Then I started looking at modular construction and the shapes of these modules. And I started looking at how a rectangular module can have very few ways in which it can be attached to other modules. And I started looking at this problem in two directions, that is the X and the Y direction, so that the growth of the module can be in both of these directions. I started with extending and recessing these offsets to create vertical connections, and extending left and right to create horizontal connections. Uh, I started exploring it through different modules, where this was about growth, where the module was used as a slab and a column as well. And then I looked at how one single floor plate can have a lot more efficiency by not imagining units as blocks or uh, as volumes, but as spaces which are created due to these incidental walls. Then this module was about density and how different modules can be attached to each other using common structural walls. Then the sizing of the module, wherein understanding the constraints of designing a module and transportation of a module to the site was very important. Then I started looking at plans and how a plan can become much more open, and also the plan has to be more resilient. Like the flexibility and the resilience has to go hand in hand. For site considerations, I looked at the downtown area of Los Angeles, especially in Skid Row, where the median income is really low. That the people there are 30% homeless, and majority of them lie between the age of 18 to 60, and the affordability index is really high, wherein a person needs to spend almost 50% of their income to to just suffice their housing needs. So I started looking at the site which is on 7th and Wall Street, which is very close to the highly metropolitan region of downtown, the financial district. And how the site actually forms is the point where the drop starts, where the heights of the building are completely dropping to like 3 or 4 floors. and and I wanted to respond to this condition, so the site layout was done in such a way that it captures the maximum amount of wind, and it looks at different views of the downtown along with the natural light. Then I started looking at these different ways in which a bigger demographic of people can be placed, so that you can have these diverse interactions between a nuclear family and a student and a multi-generational family, suppose. So placing them in different directions and understanding how these layouts can interact, what part of a particular plan can be open and enclosed. This section here highlights the large communal spaces that are formed due to the placement of these modules in different directions. Also, due to the resilience of the module and the flexibility offered due to the the movable walls, this module can also be used to form a 5 BHK, which when situated on the top of this section here, can actually subsidize the cost of living for people living on the lower floor, which are actually sharing a lot more spaces with other people. So the affordability for them actually goes up because of the flexibility and the resilience provided due to the design of the module.